Hello and welcome to the Cotswold Way, part 5, and our vlog here. This is a recently restored dry stone wall. There's lots of dry stone walls dotted around the Cotswolds. It's a real art in making it, and I've just taken a photograph of the plaque to commemorate the restoration of this stone wall. So yeah, you meet me here on day 5 of the Cotswold Way. I'll drop a map in round about here so you can have a see where we're going. So yeah, we're starting at Leckhampton Hill. We're heading down in that direction. There's a path, lower path, that is the Cotswold Way. Here on the top, what you're looking at, this delightful scene here, that is Charlton King's Common. And we follow that, the edge of Charlton King's Common, all the way through, and then it starts to drop downhill till we come to a place called Seven Springs. Well, I'll be doing quite a bit of filming around there because it links into the vlog that I did yesterday, which was talking about the source of the River Thames. Now, this location at Seven Springs is a disputed source of the River Thames, and we'll talk about that in more detail when I get there. But today it's just under 6 miles till we get to our destination, which is Dowdeswell Reservoir, which is to the east of Cheltenham, the town of Cheltenham, Regency town of Cheltenham, and it lies just above the A40, the main road between Cheltenham, Oxford and London. And from then, obviously from then, day 6 will be continuing forward. Wonderful field full of poppies here too, which is really pretty, and haven't got time to, or in fact I don't even think there is public access to that location, so I can't actually get over there. But before we start our walk proper, I'll just take you down so we can have a quick look over at Charlton King's Common. Yeah, this is Charlton King's Common. Very misty morning this morning. It should be a dry day today, hopefully. But I'm well prepared if it isn't. Yeah, it's a little bit cooler as well, but that makes it nice and pleasant. I prefer it when it's cooler and it's not too warm. I'm sure it'll probably warm up as the day goes on. So we're going to head now down and rejoin the Cotswold Way itself, the path, which is down back along there, just to the right of that gate, and that's where we start our journey today. Hats on again today. It's not forecast to be particularly sunny. There will be some sunny spells later on, but the reason for that is slightly higher UV forecast today, and but not only that, there's lots of open walking, very little woodland on our journey today. Beautiful views stretching out across Regency Cheltenham. Just show you those in a second. We've also got 4 seats here. Terrific. Love a seat. Actually, I don't need one at the moment. I've only just started the journey today. Hopefully there'll be some more later on. The other good thing about the journey today is I've parked my car obviously at Leckhampton Hill, which means I parked at the top of the hill, which means I haven't had a very big steep hill to climb up. Coming up here today, although I did need to drive up the dreaded 417 off the M5 motorway up towards the air balloon. Anyway, enough of that. Stunning view here. It is misty, but we'll just have a quick look. Sun is now starting to peek through, break up the clouds, so I think it will clear later, so when we're at the next high point. I'll stick again the telephoto lens on. We should have a clearer view than the misty view that we've got at the moment, but it's still very pleasant, not moaning at that. As I said before, the site here, both Leckhampton Hill and here at Charlton King's Common, just slightly to the east of Leckhampton Hill, they are both owned by Cheltenham Borough Council. Got some cows here, admiring the view. Very lazy cows. I've just walked through them, the group there. They didn't bat an eyelid. Very docile cows here. They're all cowing down, and some of them seem to be asleep or just dozing in their morning slumber. Dry stone walling, obviously it's a major feature of the Cotswold landscape, and we said that the Cotswolds covers a huge area. There's no exact definition to the Cotswolds in terms of the area it covers. Obviously most of it is in Gloucestershire. It also covers parts of it are in Warwickshire, for example. The town of Shipston on Stour is considered to be in the Cotswolds. Broadway, Worcestershire. Also, parts of it, quite a chunk of it, is actually in Oxfordshire, Burford, and to the east of that. And what is less well known is that another considerable chunk actually lies in Wiltshire. And we have places like Corsham and Bradford-on-Avon, which people don't often consider those to be part of the Cotswolds, but you only have to take one look at those places and you, if you were given a blindfold test, or rather blindfold was taken off and you didn't realise where it was, and instantly you would say that must be in the Cotswolds because of the stone which identifies it. Dry stone walling, you can actually go on courses which teach you how to dry stone wall. Having autism, my manual dexterity is very poor. I can just manage a camera. The controls on that, but yeah, I was no way I'd be able to do dry stone walling, but you can, I understand, go on like weekend residential courses to learn about the fine art of dry stone walling, and it is quite a considerable skill. It's not something that's literally thrown together. That as I understand it, the stones have to be chosen very carefully in terms of their size, so you fit in them together, not like ordinary uniform bricks that make up a house. Just met some walkers doing the Cotswold Way on a through hike. They started Chipping Camden on Sunday. Today is Wednesday, and they're just but probably by the end of the day they'll be at the halfway point, and they're hoping to complete in Bath this coming Sunday. And they've just told me that I said that I was heading to Dowdeswell today, and I'm doing it not as a through route but as in sections, and they said that as I was filming it and doing the photography, etc., to look out for the wildflower meadows at Dowdeswell. So we'll certainly do that, and hopefully find them. Two really nice guys on the walk there, and they wished me well as well. In fact, they saw the fluffy on my camera, said was I doing bird sound recording, and I said, well, not specifically, but it does pick up bird sound as well. Here we are at Seven Springs. Now, if you look back to the video I uploaded under the Gloucestershire section yesterday, I am at the location of the official source of the River Thames. Well, today here on Cotswold Way number 5, we're at an alternative source of the River Thames, because this, just down here, we're going to have a look at that shortly, is the source of the River Churn, and that is a major tributary of the River Thames. Obviously the River Thames has many tributaries, but the Churn is one of the first starting points of it. And if this is the source of the River Thames, this makes the River Thames the longest river in England, because the distance from the spring here to the River Thames is 14 miles, and that adds up onto the length, making it 9 miles longer than the River Severn. plaque which is Hic tuus o Thamesinae Pater Septimus Mons, which translates as "Here, Father Thames, this is the source of your 7 springs." So is this the true source of the River Thames? I'll let you decide. Apologies not for doing many pieces to camera on the way up this bit. We're at Wisterley Hill at the moment, and we've climbed up from Seven Springs, and I do apologise for the bad audio at Seven Springs. Unfortunately, the springs actually come out underneath the main A436 road. It's also quite dark there, so hopefully I'll put some titles up so you can understand what I'm saying, because the sound isn't going to be that great, because it's a very, very noisy location. I do apologise for that. Anyway, we're heading up to the top of Wisterley Hill, which lies up there. And I've just stopped underneath this splendid oak tree here. There we go. Hello. Lovely oak tree. Just going to have a quick coffee here and just do a little bit more stills photography, shots of the beautiful fields here with some poppies as well. So really enjoying the walk so far, apart from the bit where you have to cross over the 436, not as bad as the air balloon. And it's also, you're walking, I know you're not directly walking alongside it, there is a hedge in between. You are walking quite parallel to it, so it is quite a noisy spot, although the views are very, very good. Anyway, it's much quieter up here, and looking forward to the rest of the walk today. I've just entered Ravensgate Common. I'm not sure if it's a triple SI, certainly a site of nature, that's for sure. Stunning views here again over Cheltenham. And Cheltenham will actually be in our sights for quite a way on this part of the Cotswold Way until we get to the other side of Cleve Hill. So we probably won't leave it until vlog number 7 or so. But yeah, beautiful spot here. Just seeing a couple of butterflies. If I get a chance to back a couple on, photograph them, that is, not catch them. I will do, and drop them in if I can see any. But yeah, really enjoying the walk here. In terms of my experience of walking, I've never done a long distance path before. This is all a new experience for me. So at the age of 57, just starting doing long distance walking. I have done long distance day walking before, done some walking up around the Lake District. In my youth I did walking around the Black Mountains and Brecons, and I have done a couple of 20-mile hikes along the southwest coastal path, but I've not done anything in terms of length. I know I'm doing it in sections as this one, but I can actually feel myself, although I've only fairly recently started the Cotswold Way, feel myself getting a little bit fitter. I think that the first day, at the end of the first day, I just wanted to collapse in a heap, but I'm taking my time in it, but obviously it's probably about 6 or 7 miles today, but of course I am heading back to my car, so it's going to be about a 14 miler today or so, but I'm still taking my time to give you the best bits of the walk here today. Spectacular collection of orchids here on the common. I will put some identifiers up for the species, but it's the sheer density of them at this spot, which is absolutely terrific. One of the things I forgot to mention about Seven Springs, if you're doing the walk, either Chipping Campden Bath or Bath Chipping Campden, and you go through Seven Springs, you can't miss it because the path goes down to meet the road, and there are two busy roundabouts. But the Cotswold Way continues above that, so it crosses the the 436. Misses out Seven Springs itself, so you need to head down to I think it's called, there's a pub there called, I think it's called the Hungry Horse, so you need to head down the hill where it's marked for the pub, and I think they've got rooms there that you can stay. And the source of the Seven Springs is in a lay-by opposite the Hungry Horse, and it's tucked down underneath the road, in fact, so it's slightly tricky to find, but you'll come across a wooden sign saying Seven Springs. Follow the old course of the road round, which is now a lay-by. It's probably like a burger van or something in there, and you'll see a clump of trees, and then there's a sign, and then there's some steps down which take you down to the springs. Anyway, that's how you get there. It is worth the slight detour if you're interested in the source of the River Thames, or the second source of the River Thames. Hope you enjoy it if you're doing the Cotswold Way. Just stopped here for lunch. Great, wonderful seat. I'll show you when I get back up again. I think what I ought to do is rate seats on a ranking order in terms of how comfortable and how sighted they are and how quiet they are. This one has got to be a 10 out of 10. Nice long seat, so you've got plenty of room to rest. Nice high back to support you, and also got a great view here with meadow and grassland, with wood backing it all, and it's also very, very quiet, and there's no one here, so it's great. So 10 out of 10 for this seat for me. It was dedicated to the memory of Ron Coates, who was a Woodland Trust volunteer. I've just been having a quick look at the old Richard Sale book again, and we've just come through Lined Over Wood, and I've just seen, which is managed by the Woodland Trust, and I've just seen that Lined Over Wood, he mentions that in the book. The word comes from lind offer, so two separate words, lind offer, meaning lime tree hill. Actually, on the subject of trees, another thing I've brought with me, I haven't brought an all my total library, but I have borrowed this book. It's a tree identification guide. This is a Dorling Kingsley one. You can pick these up quite readily. I'm not an expert on trees. Obviously, I know the common ones, the ash, beech, oak, that sort of thing, the spruce. There's lots of trees I don't know the names for. So what I'm going to do is a new feature here is, as I come across some, and as time allows on the walk, I'll stop and see if there's an interesting looking tree, and we'll see if we can identify it together. Let's come to this spot in Line Over Wood for one simple reason. It's just to tell you out here, unbelievably, at this spot, consider I'm surrounded by these trees here, and they now seem quite more mature. This was the course of the railway between Cheltenham and Banbury. Now, there was a railway station at Dowdeswell, which is the next nearest village. It's about a couple of miles in that direction, just off the A40. Also at Dowdeswell there was a huge viaduct which took the track of this former railway heading towards Banbury over a valley, which is the valley in fact I've walked down. Sadly, that viaduct was blown up in the 1970s, and I think there is some footage of that on YouTube somewhere. If you put in Dowdeswell viaduct, I'm sure it will come up. It just seems such a waste to blow up a perfectly good viaduct to widen a road a little bit. But anyway, that's what happened. So yeah, this was the former track bed of the railway line. But yeah, I think there was originally plans for it to be continued on to Southampton, but that never materialised. So the line went through right through to, well, it joins up with the Banbury line, I think it's just south of Banbury from memory. If I can put a picture in or drop a map in, I will do. So I'm just doing this from memory. I haven't just thought about this. I saw it on the OS map that it was the former track bed. But yeah, it went through here, and you'd never think so. There's no remnants at all. There's no fencing. There's no ballast. There's no anything to indicate there was a railway here at all. In fact, parts of it they've even changed in terms of they've flattened a bit of the embankment to make way for the car park, and a lot of trees have now grown up. I mean, these trees have grown up in the past 60 odd years since the line is closed, and as I say, you'd never think anything was ever here, but it was. And obviously there's photographs to prove that. But anyway, I just thought you'd find that little snippet interesting. So I've just walked down through the Woodland Trust Wood. The path there has been recently restored to make it accessible for wheelchairs, which is great. It's been re-gritted because I think previously it was quite a slippy track. However, please be aware, when the resurfaced bit finished, it does get quite sticky in places, and if you're doing the Cotswold Way after some heavy, or even during some heavy rainfall, it could be quite slippery, so watch out for that. I've just come past Dowdeswell Reservoir, just taken a photograph on the plaque of I think what was the former pumping station. It's now a private residence, you can't get access to it, but it does say that from memory I think it was 1883 the first sod was cut of the soil to build the reservoir, and it was completed just 3 years later, opening in 1886, and indeed that was it was done to provide water for the growing Regency town of Cheltenham, which is just 4 miles away from here. So I'm actually going to end the vlog here for Cotswold Way number 5 here today. I can then return to the Woodland Trust. It's got its own car park just across the road, which is quite convenient, so I can recommence there, and the path just heads up here. That is the Cotswold Way, just running along the edge of this wood. And then number 6, Cotswold Way number 6, will take us from this location right up to Cleve Cloud, which is the highest point in Gloucestershire. So please join me for that one, because that's going to be really interesting. I've never been up there before, lived in Gloucestershire for many years, and I've never been up there, so I'm really looking forward to that. Apparently it's supposed to be quite wild at the top, so we will look out for that and see what that's like. If you subscribe and hit the bell, then YouTube will notify you when that one goes live, which will probably be in about a week's time. Until then, take care of yourselves, all the best, cheers and bye for now. Little bonus for you at the end of the video. Remember I mentioned the tree book when I was having my break, and I thought I'm back on Charlton King's Common here. Sorry, I'm being bitten. There's all kinds of horseflies around me at the moment. I've been bitten all over at the moment and they keep going for me, so it is quite difficult. Apologies for that. Hundreds of them are flying around me at the moment. I'm not quite sure why they're around this area. We're on an open common here just above Cheltenham. So I thought I'd start with first identification here on West Country Wanderings of a tree. This one here I didn't know what that was. I know what it isn't. I know it's not an ash tree or an oak tree or a sycamore or a maple, and it's certainly not cedar or a conifer. So with my trusty guide, what I did was I got one of the leaves, so I'll just show you a bit of a close-up of that leaf there. You can see that. It doesn't have a proper tip. It's bright green on one side, and identification of it, it's a silvery grey green on the rear of the leaf, which has got ridges on it, and it doesn't go to a point, so that was quite significant. It's not in fruit at the moment. It's got a dark grey bark. It's not a particularly old tree. As I say, there's no fruits on it at all. And so I've been going through the identification guide on here and come up with the fact it looks like it's an alder blackthorn, which is Ramus frangula, deciduous spreading or shrubby tree, and it is a shrub-like tree. It's not a huge tree like an oak tree, often with several main stems. Indeed it has. It's got at least 5 or 6 main stems, flies again, main stems on there, and the alternate untoothed leaves are widest towards their end, which it is, where there is a short point, which it has. They're glossy, dark green, yeah, it's a bit of glossy, dark green above, paler beneath, a lot paler, and they turn yellow or red. Well, we don't know that yet until we get to the autumn, but yeah, and it has a fleshy round fruit becoming green. So yeah, so we've identified our first tree here on West Country Wanderings. It's an alder buckthorn.